Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's Grandstream. Today's host is Phil Bowers. He is their Vice President of, and he'll be presenting today. If anyone has any, please submit them in the question box, and Phil will be able to answer them at the end of today's presentation. Phil, as always, we are so happy to have you on. We're so looking forward to what you have to share with us today. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Thanks, Julie, and thank you everyone for joining. I think this is the first webinar we've done with you guys this year, so Happy New Year to everyone. I know it's been a couple of months now at least, but wanted to say Happy New Year. Excited to be here. Pretty cool topic for today, pretty light topic, honestly, also. Going to give you an update on what we're working on rolling out here in the first quarter of the year. A couple of the products I'm going to talk about today have been officially launched. Some of them are going to be officially launched over the next couple of weeks. Some of these we may have talked about in the past at other webinars, and we're just kind of giving them some more substance and whatnot. And then at the very last slide I have, I'll give you an idea of some other stuff that we're working on behind the scenes that you'll see come up later on in the year, probably more towards the second half of the year. So yeah, really just, main idea here today, give you an idea of what's new and what's coming soon. As everyone's getting their year started off, figuring out what to concentrate on, what to focus on, what to push, and that's kind of what we're here to talk about, is what we're really talking and focusing on here from our side. So I believe off the top of my head, I think it's 4 products that I'm going to tell you about, and then we'll give you a preview of kind of everything else for the rest of the year. So let's just jump right into it. The first one is something that is frankly years in the making. This is something that a lot of you have been asking from us for a long time. It's something that we've been working on for a while, and it's something that we're really excited to bring to the market, and it is software UCM. And if you couldn't tell by the name, this is a software version of our UCM series of IP PBXs. So this is a software-based PBX solution from Grandstream. It is the same exact platform, features, functionality, interface, all of that. We've taken everything from our incredibly popular UCM series of IP PBXs, and now we're delivering it here through a software client. And this kind of goes along with and helps us continue to build out that IP PBX portfolio. Pretty much now, with the addition of software UCM, we're going to have the ideal PBX solution. Pretty much every type of PBX you could want, we have. We have the UCM series, the hardware-based devices that we've had on the market for over 10 years now, that are in their 3rd generation, that have become one of the leading IP PBXs in the world in terms of on-premise devices. Last year, and then hopefully you remember, we talked a couple of webinars last year about cloud UCM. That is taking the UCM PBX platform and delivering it through a cloud PBX solution. And now we have software UCM. So we have an on-premise option, we have a cloud option, we have a software option. And then, not to get too far into the details here, but we also have UCM Remote Connect, which allows you to essentially use an on-premise PBX as essentially allow it to function more or less as a cloud PBX. So we kind of call that our hybrid PBX solution. So whether you're looking for on-premise PBXs, cloud, software, or a hybrid cloud and software solution, we now have everything that you're looking for. So software UCM, some of you may have seen the announcement from us. This has been in beta testing for just about a month. The beta test is actually going to end this Friday. It's been one of the most successful beta tests that we've ever had, both in terms of the amount of people that participated in it, but also in terms of frankly, the stability of the product. This is something, again, we've been working on for a while. You could argue it didn't really need the beta test, but it was the extra step that we wanted to go to kind of, get as many eyes on it as possible, and the feedback has been phenomenal. So again, this product is currently in beta. It will be officially launched in early March. So again, this is Software UCM, our first software PBX solution, will be officially launched. It's somewhere between March 6th and 11th. There's a link on this page right here, right in the middle, content.grandstream.com/softwareucm-beta-test. On that link, there is a link to the draft datasheet, or the beta datasheet for this product. If you're interested in seeing all of the specs of it, go to that link, scroll to the bottom of the page, and there'll be a button where you can view the beta datasheet. It gives you a description, goes through all the specs and all that. But obviously, once this product is officially released in a couple of weeks, we'll be fully featured on our website. You'll be able to purchase plans, which will have all the links provided for. So this is more, at least in terms of what it can support, this is a little bit more of an enterprise grade solution than some of our other PBX solutions, and that's really just because it's in support up to 5,000 users. Cloud UCM doesn't go that high. I think we have a couple of UCM on-prem devices that do, but the 5,000 users is is a good amount for most large businesses to small to medium enterprises, up to 750 concurrent calls. Basically, the way that it will work is you build your plan based on the amount of users that you want and the amount of concurrent calls that you want. Our purchasing page for this will have a calculator that allows you to basically tell us how many users you want or how many concurrent calls you want, and the calculator will combine the plans that we have and tell you what it's going to cost. And just like all of our other hardware products, Software UCM will be sold through our distribution channel. So for example, it will be sold through Microcom. We will not be selling this directly ourselves. The website will offer pricing and information for it, but we'll direct you to your distribution partner, and everyone's case here, Microcom, to purchase the actual plans. Plans are on a 1-year annual renewal basis. So this Software UCM obviously will be optimized with a whole bunch of enhanced support and auto provisioning, zero config for our own endpoints, but they will support all SIP endpoints. Software UCM fully compliant with our Wave app. Those of you that might not be familiar with the Wave app, I would encourage you to check it out. In my opinion, the Wave app is we should talk about the Wave app a lot more than we do. It is a really highly functioning enterprise grade, basically soft phone app, to use a legacy term, more of a collaboration app for mobile, for desktop, and for web. We have over 1 million users on the Wave app worldwide. We just crossed that milestone recently. Allows you to communicate and collaborate from anywhere on any device using Software UCM. Software UCM can be hosted on physical machines, virtual machines, and cloud platforms. Can be integrated with a wide variety of different third-party solutions. The ones that we're highlighting are CRM platforms, property management systems, customer service platforms as well. And then for anything that we might not have built-in support for, there is a full API and SDK available, like many of our other similar products, that allows you to develop apps and do your own integrations with this. So again, this will be available in early March. Again, the first software PBX solution from Grandstream, supports all the way up to 5,000 users and 750 concurrent calls. The base plan supports 50 users, and then you can basically increase and create a plan for any amount of users in between 50 and 5,000. So create your own plan that can be expanded as you need, expanded annually, whatever. Yeah, and like I mentioned before, if you're interested in checking out all the specs for it, go to that link on the page, scroll to the bottom, check out the data sheet. So keep an eye out for Software UCM, just finishing up beta right now. Will be officially globally launched in early March. The first software PBX solution from Grandstream like I mentioned before, something that's been in the works for a while and something that many people in our channels have been asking for a long time. So we're really excited about this. And the initial feedback we've gotten from the beta announcement, from the beta tests themselves, has been phenomenal. So as far as I'm concerned, we can't get this out fast enough. So let's keep moving on here. A couple more new products that I'm going to tell you about. What you see here, the WP856. This is a Wi-Fi smartphone. This is actually our first Wi-Fi smartphone. We announced this product last week, so this product is officially available and officially announced. So this is a pretty cool product, and the thing that I would say really distinguishes this product and the main reason why you would want this product is the 1 and the 2D barcode scanner. If you take a look at the price point for this product, you'll see if you're looking for a standard Android smartphone, you're going to be probably better off going in another route. We're actually working on developing a similar device to this without the barcode scanner. But really, the reason for the cost of this device and the main reason for that you would buy it and the main target for it is the built-in barcode scanner. Does all 1D and 2D barcode scans. Does also have a 13 megapixel rear camera. Does also support NFC. 20 hours talk time built into it. 5.5-inch touchscreen. Antimicrobial casing. Waterproof and dustproof. Drop safe. And like I actually may have quickly glossed over this, but this is an Android device. An open Android device, just like our GXV video phones, where we're gonna build, the interface for the product using Android, but we leave it open. You have full access to the Google Play Store and any apps in there, any of the millions of apps in there. And this is the first device that we've created, the first Android device we've built that is Google Mobile Service certified. Obviously, it's the first, Wi-Fi smartphone that we built, so I guess it would then be the only product that would qualify for it. But it is Google Mobile Services certified, which basically just brings the added Google testing that goes along with it. They have fully tested and certified this device, which is required for that. And a lot of, I think I'm going to go on to the next slide here, which kind of brings me to the next, really the point about the barcode scanner being really kind of the main target, the main reason you would buy this device. Gives you the ability to easily scan, collect, and exchange data. I mentioned the barcodes, the rear camera, the NFC support. So that built in with the Android functionality and the ability to use, a wide different variety of platforms and apps with Android, that makes this an ideal solution for warehouses, for scanning incoming and outgoing packages, retail stores, medical facilities. Go into most medical facilities and you'll see a lot of people wearing wristbands that have barcodes on them. Greenhouses, same thing. You go around a greenhouse and most of what is growing in there is controlled by barcodes. Literally, the barcodes will even control, in many cases, when things are watered and not watered. And any really similar type of environment to that needs that kind of, all-in-one mobile solution that can scan, collect, exchange data, and really get stuff done. It's a great productivity tool. But again, when you look at the cost of this device, the main reason you would purchase it, kind of the main draw of it, is the built-in 1 and 2D barcode scanner. And I think I mentioned earlier, we're working on developing a similar type of device, another Wi-Fi smartphone without the barcode scanner. So keep an eye out for that. So that's WP856, launched last week, officially available. So keep moving on here. One of the other things that we've launched already this year, and frankly, something that is, I would say, kind of one of the big themes for us this year is Wi-Fi 7. Everybody, Wi-Fi 7 is the latest and greatest iteration of the Wi-Fi protocol, the Wi-Fi standard. Adds a third band, which is really the big thing for it. But just, takes Wi-Fi 6 and continues to really, I think studies show that Wi-Fi 7 can be up to 4 times faster and handle up to 4 times more capacity than Wi-Fi 6. So it's really built to handle a lot of clients, a lot of connections at a time. So great for office buildings, great for, one vertical that we've actually had a lot of success in this year, something I've come to learn about myself, MDUs, multi-dwelling units, apartment buildings, college dorms, stuff like that. Convention centers would also be, hotels would also be great verticals for these Wi-Fi 7 devices. So we have a variety of different Wi-Fi 7 access points that we're coming out with this year that are already on the roadmap. There's one that I'm going to talk about here in a moment that we've already released, was released back in January. The one caveat of that first, the 7670, the one we've already released, is that it is just dual band. It's actually kind of more targeted at an international audience, not so much for the North America audience, but there are a variety of countries and regions where that third band is actually illegal or doesn't function very well. North America is not one of those places, but it also, gives you, it's, again, I'll go over it in a second. It's our first option. We have 4 more models that will be releasing in Q2. Q2 being April, May, June, probably looking at May timeframe for those. So we pride ourselves on offering products that offer the latest and the greatest in terms of technology, and that is exactly what Wi-Fi 7 is. For our networking solutions, we have a variety of APs that'll be coming out, and towards the end of the year, you can also expect some Wi-Fi 7 routers. So let me tell you about this first Wi-Fi 7 access point we launched. Just going to take a quick drink of water. So the GWN 7670, which is on the far left here, just for reference, this slide is showing our indoor Wi-Fi 7 and Wi-Fi 6 access points, specifically indoor. I should call that out. We do have 2 outdoor Wi-Fi 6 access points that are currently available that aren't here on the slide. So far left here, GWN 7670. This is our first ever Wi-Fi 7 access point. This was launched back in January. Indoor device, as you can kind of see from the pictures, the Wi-Fi 7, our Wi-Fi 7 access points have a sleeker look and feel to them. They're also a little bit smaller than our previous Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 5 access points. So again, 7670, the first Wi-Fi 7 access point we launched, although I should again mention that this is just dual band Wi-Fi 7. One of the, the great enhancements that Wi-Fi 7 introduces is that third band. This device does not offer it. However, as I mentioned, in April, May, we have 4 other Wi-Fi 7 devices, access points coming. 3 of them will support tri-band. There'll be a 7672, which will look just like the 7670, which will be tri-band indoor access point. We will have a tri-band wall-mounted version, which will look, it's more of a square, something mounted on a wall, kind of like the 7661E. And then there'll be also an outdoor long-range tri-band model, and those are coming in April or May. Let's keep an eye out for that. But if you're looking to get, I would say, more of a cost-effective Wi-Fi 7 access point, going to get all the benefits of Wi-Fi 7 just without that third band, the 7670 is a great option. So yeah, take a look at that. And as I mentioned, keep an eye out. Once we get into April, May, those at least 4 more Wi-Fi 7 access points coming out then. And we're currently developing some Wi-Fi 7 routers that are likely to come out towards the end of the year. So we're bringing Wi-Fi 7 into everything that we're doing here with the access points. I'm sure at some point in time by the end of the year, you'll see many of our Wi-Fi UC devices also begin to support Wi-Fi 7. Take another quick drink of water. All right, so I think I'm just going to check the next slide. All right, so we got 2 slides left, so beginning to wrap it up here. So this is the last actual new product I'm going to give you details about. The next slide goes through basically kind of an overview of some of the new stuff we're developing behind the scenes that you'll see later in the year. So this product, the GWN 7062E and 7062ET, this is scheduled to be launched in March, mid to late March. This is not currently available. This is a Wi-Fi, or both of these devices are Wi-Fi 6 routers. And as you can see from the picture here, new form factor for our routers compared to the kind of taller original version of the, or not original, but the GWN 7062 without the E or the ET on the end is a little bit of a taller, thinner device, whereas this is a shorter, kind of wider device, more in tune with what we're seeing a lot of residential routers look like, which was partially why it's developed and partially why it was developed to look like this, to hope, trying to jumpstart some of our residential service provider partnerships. So again, these two products are not released yet. This is a sneak peek I'm giving you here. Probably should have, yeah, it does say they're coming in March, mid to late March for these two different models. The difference between them is that the ET version gives you 2 FXS ports. So you can actually plug in 2 different analog devices, analog phones, for example, directly into this device. Again, like I just mentioned, one of the targets of this device and one of the reasons why we started to make them are kind of for your residential or home deployments. The E without the E version does not have the 2 FXS ports, and both of them are going to give you 3 different gigabit ports. Again, Wi-Fi 6 router, 3 gigs a second, 128 concurrent clients, VPN mesh built in, coming in March. So should be available in just about a month, or maybe a little bit more than a month from now. This will be after we announce software ECM in early March, about a week or so from now. This will be the other new product that we launch in March. All right, I said pretty fast one compared to usual, but I know I have a tendency to talk, so maybe that's a good thing. So yeah, kind of wrapping it up here, giving you an idea of some of the other stuff that we're developing behind the scenes that you'll see later on in the year. More Wi-Fi 7 access points. I mentioned I think it was 4 that are currently in the pipeline. There's some additional models that we're likely to develop and release towards the end of the year to build out our portfolio of Wi-Fi 7 access points. I believe we have about 10 Wi-Fi 6 access points, and I think we're going in that direction with Wi-Fi 7 as well. And I will say, behind the scenes, we're already looking at Wi-Fi 8. Something that's been in our roadmap for a little while that we are going to release, I believe over the summer actually, point-to-point wireless bridges, P2P devices as some people call them, which is something we've been working on for a little while, and something we're pretty excited to bring out. Something that would be able to, connect 2 different places, 2 different locations, basically provide a internet wireless connection to a location that is, I believe, up to 10 kilometers away. Might be 5 kilometers with the initial device, but so for longer range wireless bridging. Those are going to be outdoor models, so they'll be weatherproof and all that too. Hopefully everyone here is familiar with our GCC series. That's the convergence devices, the UC plus networking convergence devices, the series that combines a PBX with a router, with a switch, with a Wi-Fi access point, a router with a firewall, with a either a switch or a Wi-Fi access point and an IP PBX. So hopefully router, even I have to say this a couple times. It's got a router and PBX, a firewall, and either a switch or a Wi-Fi access point. So that's all the GCC series devices. check them out if you haven't. They're awesome. We should probably focus our next webinar on them. Actually, maybe we will do that. So we're in the process of developing some more enterprise-grade GCC devices. The ones that we have on the market now, which have been out for just about a year, they're really, in terms of specs, more tiered and targeted at small to medium-sized businesses. So we'll have some more enterprise-grade GCCs later in the year in terms of the amount of users that they're able to support, in terms of the capacity, and in terms of a beefed up enterprise-grade firewall. We have some more cordless Wi-Fi phones and smartphones coming out this year. I think I mentioned one of them as we were going through there. So we'll continue to build out that WP series where, our own numbers show that we're one of the leading providers of Wi-Fi IP phones on the market right now. We have some new facility management solutions coming probably towards the middle of the year. We'll probably talk a little bit about those in our next webinar or the one after that. Also some more layer 2 and layer 3 switches, kind of adding to what we have right now, coming on later on in the year. There's a bunch more. That's the stuff that we can talk about, or that we have kind of more firm dates on at the moment. But obviously, as usual, I'm sure everyone's gotten used to us. We're constantly developing and releasing products. It's just kind of what we do. It allows us to continue, always make sure that we're utilizing and offering whatever the latest and greatest technology, integrations, protocols are. And that will certainly continue to be our strategy, as it has worked pretty well for about 25 years now. So with that is it for me for today's webinar. Gave you an idea of what's going on here at Grandstream in the first quarter of the year, then the stuff we've launched, stuff we're preparing to launch, some stuff you'll see later on in the year. And with that, I'll turn it over to Julie for any questions.
Thank you very much, Phil, for that wonderful presentation. And yes, we do have some questions for you. If you are ready, we'll get started with the first one.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. What advanced call management features does the UCM software offer, such as call forwarding, conferencing, or voicemail?
All of the above, everything you just mentioned there. I think on that slide there was a URL. So off the top of my head, content.grandstream.com/software UCM-beta-test. On the bottom of that, there'll be a link to the datasheet, and it will actually, on the spec page, list out all of the call features. There's hundreds of them. The easy answer is anything. If you've used our UCM series of PBXs before, everything that's in those hardware devices is also here with software and the cloud version as well.
Thank you very much, Phil. That's good to know. Appreciate it. Next question. How does the UCM software handle unified messaging, such as voicemail to email or fax to email?
I know that those are both features that are built in automatically. There's nothing you're going to need to set either one of those up. I think those are also, just like I mentioned with the last question, those are pretty standard features with our the hardware PBXs. So same thing here. I think with the software in the cloud, you potentially might even have some more flexible routing options, just because it's being handled, through the cloud or through a software. A little bit more processing power, I guess, than the hardware device. But long story short, yeah, that all of that you will find is fully supported.
Thank you very much. I especially love voicemail to email myself. That's one of my favorites. Anyway, here we go. Next question, Phil. What security features are built into the UCM software to protect against cyber threats?
There's tons of them. That actually does differ a little bit based on the model. Like, for example, I can tell you that our cloud UCM has a built-in session border controller built into the cloud platform. The UCM software has a variety, or excuse me, the UCM Hardware and this new software version has a variety of firewall functionalities and features built into it. In addition to all the, the traditional TLS, SRTP, all of those different encryption technologies. We also, one of the other things, in addition to, all of the actual security technologies, we have built it, the way that our devices handle, especially if you're using hardware devices, passwords is very different than most other manufacturers. Everything we make has a random default password that gives you, random default password also has another protocol that kind of during boot up allows the devices to check with each other and with the network to make sure that they're not being hacked during boot up, which is actually the most common time when systems are hacked into, is when they're initially being set up. So there's a whole variety of different things that we offer. Traditional protocols, more advanced security features, firewalls, session border controllers, the unique passwords that's built into everything. So there's truly a lot of different things that we could talk about there. Probably the best answer is to go check out the data sheet for the specific PBX solution you're looking at, and it will give you a lot more details than I can provide off the top of my head.
No problem. Thank you so much, Phil. Couple more questions left here. Next one is, can the WP856 be used for emergency communication? And does it have a dedicated SOS button?
Yes, to both. Part of the Google Mobile Services certification is that it meets, E911 and all of those different emergency protocols and standards. And it does have an SOS button, has a couple of different buttons that could also be programmed as the SOS button, but it does have a built on, I believe it's on the right side of the device.
Excellent, very good, thank you. Last question here, Phil. What security features does the WP856 have to protect against unauthorized access or cyber threats? I know we talked about that a minute ago, but what have you got for us on that?
Yeah, I mean, all of the, I'll apologize, my brain might not be functioning properly. The first thing, obviously, it's not the most important one, but the whole password thing comes to mind. We have a variety of different Wi-Fi security protocols that are supported on those devices, both roaming protocols to make sure that when you roam from one access point to the next, nobody can get into it, and that the handoff is secure from one access point to the next. And then obviously all of your, the VoIP, UC security protocols, TLS, SRTP, all of that built into it as well. And then obviously, if you're using those with one of our UCM platforms, you're going to have all the security features built into that. Like if you're using it with the cloud system, you'll have the built-in SBC. If you're using it with a UCM on-prem device or this new software, you'll have access to firewall features. So kind of, all of that put together, both the security features of the access point, or the device, but also the security features of the, the UCM or the backend system that you're using.
Phil, thank you so much for answering all of those questions for us today. And thank you to everyone for attending today's webinar. And if anyone does have any further questions, of course, please feel free to contact your sales rep, or you can email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown today, please remember that this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so everyone can view it again if you'd like. Phil, thank you so much. I will be in touch so we can do this again to see what's going on within the next couple of months. And again, we look forward to having you on as we continue with our webinar series through 2025. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.